masturbated 4 times.
Seriously, this is a detective story? A film where the main detective appears after half an hour. The investigation drowns in conversations about faith, and the plot tries to be smarter than the viewer while forgetting to be interesting.
I'm sorry.
Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, is the weakest film in the franchise, and now I'll explain why. No hysterics, no subjective opinions, just facts. Let's establish expectations right away. Knives Out is a detective story, a whodunit, mystery, clues, motives, tension, final twist. And here, the film runs almost 2 hours and 20 minutes, and the first 30 to 35 minutes aren't even a detective story. We watch a young priest, his doubts, his internal dialogues, his crisis of faith. This could be interesting, but not in a film that's sold as a Blanc story. The franchise's main detective is absent for a third of the first act. It's like making a Sherlock Holmes film and forgetting about Sherlock. And here it's important to understand who even made this film. Rian Johnson is not a newcomer or a random director. His portfolio includes solid films, Brick, Looper, the first and second Knives Out. He knows how to write dialogue. He knows how to build intrigue. He's already proven he can make smart detective stories, and his Oscar nomination for the first film confirms that. And that's precisely why Wake Up Dead Man disappoints the most, because this isn't the failure of an inexperienced director. This is a conscious choice by someone who knew how to do better. Yes, there's a murder. Yes, technically it's a locked room mystery, classic device. But there's no investigation, no chain of clues, no intellectual game with the viewer, no feeling that you can solve the mystery alongside the detective. Blanc spends most of the film not investigating, but philosophizing. He talks about faith, morality, people, but he barely works as a detective. In the first film, every scene led to the solution. Here, scenes just exist. And this is especially painful because the cast is gorgeous, strong actors, big names, and what do? Practically nothing. Characters don't develop, don't affect the plot, aren't memorable. Try to remember after watching who actually did what. Not an image, but an action, a decision, a contribution to the investigation. In the original, every character was part of the mechanism. Here, they're just people on screen, expensive, beautiful, and absolutely empty, because the script is like that. This film is slow, not meditative, not measured, but specifically dragged out. The middle part is endless dialogues that don't move the plot, conversations about sin, about faith, about right and wrong. Humor? No. Here there are rare, awkward jokes that drown in the serious tone. The film wants to be important, wants to be deep, but it confuses depth with heaviness. Knives Out was always satire, but before it was smart satire. Here, characters turn into caricatures. Evil isn't explored, it's just marked with a marker. Religious fanatic? That means stupid, evil, and primitive. No nuances, no internal logic, no contradictions. This isn't a character, this is a poster. And the problem isn't the theme, the problem is the delivery. When a film lectures instead of telling a story, it stops being cinema. And here comes the key point that people rarely say out loud. Netflix signed a contract with Rian Johnson for approximately $450 million for 2 sequels. This is one of the most expensive directorial contracts in streaming history. And when they pay you that kind of money, you're no longer making a film taking risks. You're making a product for the platform. No theatrical release, no pressure from word of mouth. The main thing is that it's long, prestigious, relevant, and convenient for reports. And Wake Up Dead Man feels exactly like that, like a film that nobody told to stop. There was potential, there were actors, the director has experience, but instead of sharp, smart cinema, we got a long, self-satisfied film that thinks it's deeper than it actually is.